Hey, so what do you think of when I say hidden beliefs and getting to the hidden beliefs? I was on a call this week with a client who came in to work with me, and I've been on a call with him a few years back, and he said he wasn't ready to work with me. And this time on this call, he said to me, you know, Allison, I feel like I know what my blocks are. I know what isn't. I've worked with Reiki people. I've worked with angel therapists, whatever that is. I've done meditation. You know, I've worked with affirmations, and he said some other stuff. But I'm not getting to the thing, you know, and I'm not going to give the specific of why he's working with me, but it's something that he's not happy about. It's holding him back in many areas of his life. It's having a vast impact. And I've had this over and over again. And I noticed on my YouTube list of videos that you all have really enjoyed the one about hidden beliefs. And so I want to go further into that because the times that we're in right now are so conducive to us being able to make more progress, and all of us collectively, what we're creating externally as our reality for this new era as we move into it. If you made more progress, that would be great, you know? And so he was saying he could articulate his blocks. He knew what was happening, and he even knew some of the why it was happening as it would happen in this repeated way every time he went to do something like this. And it was really tripping him up, as I said, in all these other areas of his life. And so what I want to focus on is at this point in your personal development and the path that you've been on, you know, you've likely pieced together from that mentor, this teacher, that author's series of teachings, that person's YouTube page. And if you're not getting to what you can't see, then you won't make as faster progress. So he knew that he needed somebody to get his back that could actually see what was going on. And that is definitely something I have strong capacity and proven over and over and over again, because you are likely able to watch a video, watch somebody talk about what's needed in these times, and be self-aware enough to observe and process within yourself or articulate with, you know, your best friend or perhaps your coach what's going on. And so there's dialogue back and forth from your own self-observations. Do you know how bloody slow that is? Comparative to if you just get somebody to go in and deal with the back of the house consciousness, as I call it. So the unconscious, not conscious, not able to be observed, thoughts not heard, subconscious, under the conscious mind, thoughts not heard, impact and effects of subconscious not heard at conscious mind level. So you can spend, wow, look at that hair. You can spend years in meditation to get to that, and you will. And you could spend years getting Reiki, for example, and get more light brought in to transmute the density, and you will get there. But vibrational upgrade system that I was drawn to create is half my background as a yoga meditation teacher, dealing with the mind, and the background I have in Western psychology, and then dealing with change. And then the other half is the energy medicine. So using my intuition, or you using your intuition, it's easier for you to see somebody else's stuff, right? But you know, when you've been dealing with an issue, you know your frustration level. And I want for you to have this embodied optimistic vibrance and buoyancy that you see yourself changing. You see yourself able to access a new idea and a new possibility and bring it in, make a new choice, and are now dealing with a new situation in your life that's improved, where you've moved beyond what has been previously a block. So karma, which I have a lot of training and deep background in clearing, is an evolution point. Yeah, it's not just a punishment from having done something wrong. It's really a point for us, or a blockage is another way to say it, that we're meant to be evolving beyond. And each of us has what's called 2 or 3 samskaras. That's the Sanskrit word for a pattern, a core pattern in our lives, that we're here as a soul in a body to evolve beyond. That's only one of the aspects of the family of entangled beliefs that show up as blocks that are hidden. Then there's imprints from our parents and ancestry. So one of the things that my mom did from her imprints was to be a good, kind, loving person and, you know, process what was bothering her within her, that it wasn't her opportunity to just throw it around on other people. And so I've been dealing with that own imprint myself, where rather as a Libra, under this full moon we have this week in my sign, I love peace and harmony and grace and elegance. And I'm also, you know, a surfer, and I've lived as an expat, so I'm very much no worries mate. So I see that conditioning and that imprint for me being a bit of a block towards me freely expressing what I want for myself personally, or speaking to someone about something that I want for myself personally. Now, you might be like, what? You're out there, you're a public personality, you have a problem. I'm not saying I have a problem. I'm saying I've had to look at my own family of beliefs around why are you not saying something here, Allison? So that's imprints from lineage and parents. It's karma. There's conditioning, which, having lived outside the country, the amount that I have has really been helpful for me to be able to glean quite heartily my American conditioning. And then there's traumas that the subconscious takes in, because our conscious mind can't feel something that's traumatic. It has to go there. And then from the subconscious is also subconscious and unconscious conclusions about how to continue to keep us safe from that trauma happening again. And then, you know, as we're growing up, ages 2 to 8, examining how life works on planet Earth. How do I get that love? How do I get that good feeling? How do I get that approval? All those unconscious conclusions form. And this is just a small example of so much of its stats. 85% is lodged in what I call the back of the house consciousness. And so we're only making conscious choices with 15% of our conscious capacity. I think it's more like 95%. So there's a way to take off the peripheral, open up the peripheral really, so you can perceive a new possibility. And then having someone come in with more of the activating kind of energy, clearing blockages around courage, and then activating you to feel what the energetics that are necessary to feel in order to make a new choice. So that's that dynamic between the energy medicine, the clearings and the activations, and then the understanding of how our neurology changes and how we can get out of grooves and make new choices. The other half of vibrational upgrade system. So I want you making progress. I want you seeing your life showing up differently. I want you seeing yourself evolving beyond a sticking point, because as the more of us do that, the more freed up, the more awakened, even more of the consciousness becomes, and that's what's needed to move into these new times as we co-create our new era. So I want you to not feel like you have to only go at a slow pace, and I want you to feel like you absolutely can change, and this isn't for other people. And I want you to perceive that creator in you, able to create successfully, repeatedly, what you desire, rather than just dealing in a reaction only, and having less task orientation and more balance between the yin, the spaciousness, the receptivity, and then stepping out in the yang and taking action, so that you have more of that bandwidth opened, more consciousness awakened, and you're making choices that are helping to elevate your life. And as that occurs, you're helping people you'll never meet, your neighbors as well as across the planet. And that's what we're up to now. So rather than tell you about the nature of our times only and give you advice, which is not something I'm comfortable with, and I train my vibrational upgrade practitioners not to ever give advice, but to give an intuitive read, which is what this is, of the collective, of what's needed now and desired now, as well as then the tools, the energy medicine that will actually get you able to see and perceive anew and have the courage to make a new and different choice, rather than just tell you, well, you might want to look at what your hidden blocks are. No, Everybody deserves more support. You don't have to go at it alone. And the word hidden means you can't see them. So I just celebrate where we're at this stage, and how does it get any better than this? What else is possible? And I wonder what the version of you would feel like having that victory over yourself that is orgasmic, where you have evolved beyond a previous sticking point for yourself. As we're in this spring in the Northern Hemisphere and rebirth resurrection time of this weekend's holiday celebrations for some folks, it is rebirth time. Enjoy. Namaste.